Welcome everyone to another episode of Freedom of Speech on the Dime with your girl, Pleasure Time. Today I'm going to be reflecting on legal shield, and it actually reminds me of a parable in the Bible, the wheat and the weeds, or the wheat and the tare. For those of you who are familiar with the passage, for those of you who are not, Matthew 13:24 through 43 should reveal that to you. Anyway, in the story, both the wheat and the weeds grow together. The farmer doesn't pull up the weeds early because it could damage the wheat. Instead, he allows them to grow together until harvest. Now, this parable got me thinking about life. Isn't it funny how people can grow up in the same environment and yet we turn out so differently? For example, wheat is going to be considered premium here to the wheat farmer, right? While the weeds are pretty much worthless to him. However, there's a cattle farmer who stays right down the road, who those weeds may actually be a blessing for because it helps him feed his livestock. So it's really all about perspective. And then that also goes along with the sayings of one man's trash is another man's treasure. See? So I say that to ask you this. What do you consider peace of mind? Because as we see, somebody else's treasure and trash is completely different. Someone else's perception of something is completely different. So take a moment and reflect on your life. What's been your biggest fear? Is it the thought of dying? I mean, to each his own, but to me, that would be silly because that's something that we're all going to do. We just don't know when. But is it your thought of dying and leaving your family unprepared since nobody knows when? What about not having a will or a trust set up? Wondering if you're making the right decisions on a deal? Or maybe you thinking about starting a business and you just have no idea where to begin. So, if you've ever felt lost because you couldn't Google your way out of a situation or didn't know who to ask, you're not alone. But you don't have to stay in that place. With the tap of an app, I know, you heard how simple that was? With the tap of an app, you can get your answers to all your concerns. That's what Legal Shield offers access to legal professionals who can guide you in your everyday life situations. For me, peace of mind means waking up every morning and going to bed every night knowing that I have access to professional advice. Whether it's a contract I'm unsure about, a business decision, you know, maybe it's something setting up the family trust or anything. I know that I can click the app, choose the category, and get results from a legal expert in my area. I got frustrated with a warranty company. I just purchased a freezer in July. It's January. The freezer started working in November. I have an email stating that the part came in December. Yet I'm still waiting and I'm getting nowhere with this company. So, what you think I did? Well, what's the purpose of having it if you're not going to use it? I clicked the app. Chose consumer rights. Guess what? That's under warranty and all of that different stuff. Attorney called me back. I even knew when they were going to call because they sent me a text message first to let me know somebody was calling. So I'm quite sure that issue is going to be resolved very quickly. All the rest of them were. So, um, but yeah, wouldn't you sleep better knowing that you had that kind of backup? I mean, literally. Have someone to answer your questions with real, personalized advice tailored to your state and local laws. Who wouldn't sleep better having that type of backup? Now, let's talk about the cost, because I know I'm not counting your pockets, but considering that the average price of consulting a lawyer could be hundreds of dollars per hour, what if you could access legal guidance for less than $100 a month? For me, it's a no-brainer. You know, I got life insurance, I got health insurance, I got car insurance, and it's just certain stuff that I'm just not going to go without. And guess what? This is another one of those things that I'm not going without, okay? I'm not going without it. And before you say, oh, I don't get into trouble, let me clarify that none of the examples that I just mentioned early involved criminal charges. Legal help isn't just for criminal issues, it's for everyday concerns, contracts, wills, trusts, starting a business, understanding your rights, changing your name, adopting a child. You know, if it doesn't suit you, that's fine. But consider sharing it with someone who it might benefit. Why? You think it is just to help me, right? It's not. It does help me. I appreciate that. But it's because not everyone shows or even talks about what they're going through. Think about it. You got your perfect couple on social media. They go everywhere together, this and this and that. A month later, you see that they're filing for divorce. What about a successful business? All of a sudden, that's your favorite business. Then you find out they're filing for bankruptcy. You see what I'm saying? Social media has its own persona or partake in how they spin things, and they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What do you think perception is? You know? And for you who are thinking, oh, I'll get it when I need it, remember, you don't wait until after the accident to get insurance. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Okay? So as we move on into 2025, I'm excited about the future because I know that I have the tools to make informed decisions about myself and my family. And you can have that same confidence. Just click the link in the description to get started. Let's make 2025 your best year yet. Click of an app. So how about we start by clicking the link in the description? Okay? Thanks for staying with me this far. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.
At the tap of an app, help is near. Affordable coverage to calm your fears. With Legal Shield, you'll sleep so tight knowing